All right, afternoon, Pet Pros. So I am back for the third bonus live. I'm gonna check before I officially kick things off that I'm live again. Make sure everything's working and we're all good to go. I see myself. This is the question. Yes, I can. Awesome. We're live. Good stuff. Okay, so if you are watching live with me, give me a hi in the comments. So there's always a little bit of a delay with yeah, the comments and things, but I will check on my phone as well to make sure I can see those comments because sometimes I have some issues and things going on with the um yeah, with the comment section of Facebook Lives. It's so irritating. But I've got that up now, so that's good. Awesome. So if you're watching with me, give me a hi in the comments. So today we're going to be essentially looking at your ideal students and who you want to be attracting into your passive income offers, right? So this is obviously a really important exercise to be doing for your business as a whole. Like if you don't, low-key scratching, good timing, low-key. If you don't essentially know who you're talking to, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle in business. So we want to make sure, first and foremost, that you know who you're talking to, because that is like, it's business foundations. It's like 101 business foundations. Okay, so yesterday we looked at your vision, so your big vision for your business and your life, and hopefully you have had a good look at that and started pondering some of those questions that I shared with you and started filling in that worksheet, right? Because that's a really important exercise too. All of this is foundational stuff. And we need to have this in place before we even start thinking about like what we're going to create for that digital product, that passive income offer. Let me come back to you guys actually. Okay. Hi, Eliza. Good to see you. And Sue as well. Amazing. I think I can see, yeah, Teresa, amazing. Awesome. Good to see you guys here with me. It's fantastic. So yeah, if you didn't catch the other bonus lives as well, because there have been two other bonus lives this week, by the way, do head on over there and catch those. The replays are available. You can find them in the featured section of this Facebook group. So they're pinned to the top of the group, so you can catch up on those. Okay, so the last two kind of like lives that I did in here, the bonus lives, they were like running around an hour, so like sixty minutes. I'm gonna try and condense this down a little bit further because I do get kind of like I get kind of carried away. There's a lot of information and a lot of knowledge that I have after being in business for like 12 plus years. So I do, yeah, I get a bit carried away with sharing all of the things essentially. But I'm going to try and keep this more concise so that we're not here for too long. Okay, so we're talking about your essentially your five-star ideal customers. That's what we want to be fleshing out here today and understanding who you want to be drawing into those digital products, the online course, the membership, the ebook, whatever it is that you're going to be creating for your business. So we need to make sure that we're attracting the right people. That is so, so important, right? We want to be ensuring that the right people are coming into our businesses so that we can properly help them and they get the results that we want them to get, and that means that they end up raving about us, like on social media, and referring us to their friends and family and things like that. That's in the ideal world, that is what we want them to do, right? So for this, to understand who that ideal person is, there are three main things that we need to be thinking about here. I like to break this up into three different areas, okay? So essentially, we want to be first looking at those simple demographics. So you've probably done this work before. So let me know in the comments actually if you've done like ideal customer work before. Like, give me a yes in the comments if you're like, yeah, I've looked at, like, you should have done this before. Like, yeah, it is really, really important work if you're in business. It's like one of the first things that you do. So let me know if you have actually done that before. But you may have done some like simple um yeah, some simple like demographics, those surface level demographics, which is essentially like, Eliza, yes, awesome. Um, Surface level demographics, things like, where that person is from, like where they live, the gender of your ideal customer, their age, um, like how many pets that they have, what kind of pets they have, what kind of breed of dog do they have. Yeah, all of these different things, like the real kind of surface level stuff that you can find essentially if you looked at like Google Analytics or you looked at your social media analytics, you can find some of this information there, and it's really, really useful. But we do want to take this a step further for sure. The Sue, yes, Holly, yes, awesome, good. So you have an idea of, what this stuff is all about. Um, so we want to take this deeper, another level, another two levels actually. So the next level is essentially where we are looking at and uncovering the big, big problems that your ideal customers have. We need to know these intimately, like really, really well, and understand what that looks like for your ideal customer. What are those big challenges, those big problems that they're facing on a daily basis? What is playing on their mind? What is potentially keeping them up at night, right? We need to understand like what that is, um, so that we can essentially create the best possible solution for them. So it can be things like, they've got a reactive dog, and they take it out for a walk and it's causing them stress or like embarrassment. That is the big, big problem that they have. Um, their reactive dog is, yeah, it's just they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to manage it. When they do go out, they're barking and they're lunging at other dogs and other people, and they just feel like so stressed out every time they take their dog for a walk. That could be the big, big problem that your ideal customer has right now. It could be that they've got like a matted dog or a matted cat, right? And they're really worried about their pet, and it's causing them stress because they know that they're not happy and they're not healthy right now. Um, could be that their dog has separation anxiety and they're unable to just like leave the house when they want to. They worry all of the time about their dog being at home alone and what they're going to find when they come home because maybe there's accidents, maybe there's chewed up furniture, whatever. Or maybe they're barking all day and it's causing like a real rift with the neighbors. Maybe that's the big, big problem that they have right now. And we want to, like, when we're thinking about this, we want to tap into not just like that surface level problem, but also like how it's making them feel, the emotional factors that come into that. So, yeah, we're looking at, is it stressing them out? Are they feeling embarrassed? Is it causing them like, yeah, just like stress between them and their neighbors, things like that? Like the tangible stuff. We want to really understand what that looks like for them. So we're going so much deeper on this so that when we're bringing that into our messaging as well, we can really talk about that in detail. We can really like, yeah, just like lay all of that out and paint that picture for them. And then they understand, oh my God, this person is absolutely speaking to me right now. They know exactly what's going on for me. They're inside my head, essentially. So that's the kind of level that we want to get to when we're talking about their problems. Okay, so number one, when we're thinking about our ideal students, we are thinking about those surface level demographics for sure. And like obviously with this, if we're creating digital products, we're talking, potentially really worldwide. We're not, in that case, we're not looking at like where do they live because it's going to be all over. Um, And yeah, thinking about those problems. So the second one, thinking about those problems and going really deep on that as well. And the third one, well, let me just come back to you guys. No worries, Samantha. You did make it. You made it. And the third one is looking at the different like qualities, traits, and behaviors that you will and will not accept from your ideal students as well. So this is also really important because we want to make sure that we're attracting people that we love like working with. And in a lot of cases, yeah, for sure, like this is passive income. We're not necessarily going to be involved in that, but we want to make sure that we're bringing those people, we're attracting, like we're magnetically drawing those right people to us. And in a lot of cases as well, we want to be attracting people that are more on like the ethical side of things for sure, and force-free and approaching the way that they look after their pets in that way. That's the kind of people that we want to be attracting, but we also want to be looking at lots of different areas as well. So it can be things like, you know, on the one side of things, so we want to look at this like with two different two different sides. So you could literally split the page down the middle, like grab a page, draw a line down the middle, and then put on one side like the qualities, traits, and behaviors that you will accept, the people that you do want to attract, and on the other side, the qualities, traits, and behaviors that you will not accept. So we want to start there first of all. And it could be things like, they're highly committed to getting results for them and their pet, right? You don't want to be attracting necessarily people that just like they sign up to something and then they never actually like look at it. That's not the kind of people that we want. We want them to be like super excited about um, what it is that you're going to be like teaching them, whatever, and actually consuming that content and are like committed to this and getting the results that they want, right? And making their life and their pet's life better. So that could be one of the traits, like the qualities that you want to see in the people that you bring into your passive income offers. It may be that they're open-minded. So maybe, they need to come around to a particular way of thinking, a perspective, a viewpoint that maybe isn't the norm, and you need them to be like open-minded around that. And that's the kind of people that you want to be attracting here. They value investing in themselves and their pets' future as well. So maybe it's like, you want to be attracting the people that will pay to get the results that they want. They will pay, they put some skin in the game to help them, themselves, and their pets. And they're not just like freebie seekers. They're not just hanging around to try and absorb all this free information. They understand that it's important to actually sometimes pay for things to get the results that they want, right? So that could be a real quality trait that you want to see in your ideal customers. They love to learn, so that they're like, yes, I'm here to actually learn, I'm open-minded, and I'm here to be guided on the best way forwards. They have a positive attitude, so they come at things with a positive attitude. They're not like a negative person, a skeptical person. Um, yeah, they just have that positive, upbeat attitude, and they are willing to try things and open to different approaches. And they commit to doing the work as well. Yeah, they're just like they're not just signing up for stuff and just letting it gather dust. They're like, let's do this. I'm going to pull up my sleeves and I'm going to do this, and we're going to improve our lives and make our lives better. Whatever that looks like for your ideal customer. So that's just a few ideas there on that side of things, like the qualities, traits, and behaviors that you may want to see there. So there are so many more. You could literally just go on and on and on with these different things and fill like an entire page. So go to town when you're doing this for sure. And also on the other side of that, what we don't want to see. So it could be like people that are living in a victim mentality, like they feel like everything is happening to them, there's nothing that they could possibly do to improve their situation. You might not want to be attracting those kind of people because they can be difficult to work with, even if it is passive income based. People that like to blame other people and circumstances for their problems, people that have a negative attitude, so yeah, flipping that over, the positive to the negative, expect hand holding at all times. So, if we're looking specifically here at selling like things that we can create that are an asset for our business that we can set up and people can buy at any time, and it requires very little involvement from us. Like there may be some involvement, possibly. Like with your online course, you may have like a group that you want to set up for that, and people can ask questions and things like that in that group. You may want to do that, or you may not want to do that. And it may just be like an online course that people can buy, and that's it. Like that interaction with you stops inside your training portal. Like there's no like one-to-ones, there's no Q&As, there's nothing like that. So they need, it may be that you don't want to see people that are like, oh, I bought this, like, I don't know, £27 course, and I was expecting you to be there, like giving me like 5 different sessions, live sessions, and you walking me through how all of this works, right? That's unrealistic. And of course, we need to be setting those expectations in our messaging as well. But we don't want to be attracting those people that for these specific things that expect hand holding at all times. You have your other offers to do that. You probably have, right now, you've got your in-person work, you may have one-to-one services, you may be working with people online as well in like a Zoom setting, but it's a higher ticket offer, right? And that's where the place where you could have that hand holding going on, but not with what we're talking about here with online courses and stuff. People that are looking for a quick fix. So yeah, you may see this a lot actually in this industry with people thinking, like, but I was expecting like to be able to literally stop my dog from barking in like an hour. Like, why aren't you able to help me do that? It's like, yeah, we don't want to be attracting people that are expecting that miracle, that magic, wave a magic wand and things are done straight away, right? Because we know that it doesn't work like that. They don't make time to do the work, and people that adopt an I already know this attitude. So, you may have come across people like that before who are a bit like, I know better, like this is the way that I'm actually going to do things, and they don't kind of listen to your approach. So there are some things I'm basically using these examples to get you thinking about some of the things that you may have seen as well in some of your previous clients, right? Where they weren't quite so ideal, and pulling out some of those traits and those characteristics that maybe you don't want to be seeing going forwards, and particularly for your passive income offers. So you can start to look back at some of those clients that, yeah, I absolutely loved working with them, and we want to carry that forwards and apply that to these passive income offers. So it'll kind of give you an idea of like, yeah, who is this perfect ideal person, student that I want to bring into these passive income offers? Because you want to be calling them in with your energy, right? And your messaging and your strategy. And who are these people that I want to repel essentially, and I don't want to be working with in any capacity. Okay, we need to get really, really clear on that, because actually, when you do this, this is a really good exercise for you in terms of your marketing, because you can put this on like your sales pages for your passive income offers, and you can pull this out into like emails that you send people, like, who is this for? Who is this not for? Or social media posts, and lay it all out there as well. It's a really good yeah, it's a really good like content inspiration to do that, but it also serves a purpose because you are qualifying people and then repelling people that aren't a good fit for you. So for this, what I want you to do is literally grab a piece of paper and put a line down the middle of that piece of paper. And then on the one side, we're looking at who they are, and on the other side we're looking at who they are not. And pull in as well some of those demographics, some of those simple demographics, the big problems that they have, and the qualities, traits and behaviors and characteristics that you want to see and don't want to see then on the other side. That's what we want to be looking at here. I want you to get super clarity, like, yeah, just so much clarity on who it is that you want to attract going forwards, because that's going to help guide what you actually create as well as we go into the boot camp officially next week, which starts on Monday. Very, very exciting. This is really going to help you, right, to understand like, okay, what are some of those big problems that they have right now? What's the biggest problem that they have right now that I can create a whole like digital product around, an online course, an ebook, a little workshop, whatever that looks like for you, whatever is going to feel good for you. And we're going to talk about that obviously on in the bootcamp. I think that's on day one, actually. We're going to be going into that. So that's super fun. Um, so guys, let me know in the comments if that all makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense and you're yeah, you're excited to do this exercise and get this working for you. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. Just put a simple yes. That would be that would be helpful because then we can see where we all are. I'm hoping I can see your comments. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yes, okay, awesome, fantastic. Okay, cool. Do you guys have any questions at all about any of that I've shared? So yeah, put those into the comments. So any questions that are popping up for you around this exercise or the ones that I've shared over the last 2 days, 3 days. Let me know if you have any questions so far about any of this. So for this one, I'll just recap that. The simple demographics is what we want to be looking at here. Um, how many dogs, breed, gender, age, those kind of things. The big problems that they have as well. So what is that big problem for you and your ideal customer? And looking at the different qualities and traits and behaviors that you will and won't accept. That's what we're looking at here. Okay. I've got some more people requesting to join the group. Yes, absolutely awesome. Makes sense. I'm going to make up 4 pages as 4 different client groups. Anything I should bear in mind? Okay. Yeah. So, what are the different client groups that you have? But in a general sense, is what I will say is yes, if you do have some very different segments of your audience, essentially, then yes, we want to be looking at doing this for 4 separate groups. So yes, that is potentially what you need to do there. But you're welcome to share more about what those groups are. We can chat a little bit more about that. Just getting more people into the group. Okay. Terry, yes, awesome. Hey Karen, good to see you. If you've just popped on, Karen, I've just like talked about essentially the ideal student exercise. So if you need to watch that back, because I would restart this again, because obviously that's the bulk of what we were talking about there. But the replay is going to be available, so you guys can all, catch up again. If you need to rewatch it, absolutely you can do that. These are going to be here for a good fair while. Like this group is going to be up for a while, so the replay is going to be available. I've also created as well like a specific replay page that I'm going to start sharing next week. So after each of the lives, I'm gonna send like an email with the replay page within that because it might be easier for you to access them that way. And they'll all be laid out for you on that page. It's just on my website essentially, rather than kind of coming in here. Because I know that some people don't like Facebook as well. I don't blame you because yeah, Facebook can be really annoying sometimes. So I'm just doing that so it makes it much, much easier because sometimes, yeah, it can be hard to find stuff in groups and yeah, there's a lot going on. Okay, awesome. You're very welcome. Fantastic. All right, so that is your like little mini exercise for today. So essentially, on Monday for the bonus, for the first bonus, um, we were looking at your mindset really and understanding some of those potential mindset barriers, some of those potential limiting beliefs that could stand in your way. And I want you to really uncover what that might look like for you before we head into next week, if you can, because these are the things that can really kind of stop you in your track, sabotage you, make you procrastinate. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be taking like speedy action on this. I want you to finally get these things out there so that they're making money for you. Because this does not have to take ages. It doesn't have to take, weeks, months, years to do. This can literally be created in like a matter of days. So yeah, it's time to stop procrastinating on that for whatever's going on for you. We need to uncover what that is. And there's, huge power in doing that. And yesterday was all about your big vision as well. So there was a worksheet to go along with that. So if you do fill that in, that's going to help you to really see like why you're doing this, which is really, really important because we want to hold on to that because that's what's going to motivate us going forwards. So do have a look at that. That's also linked in the bonus live yesterday, that live. So you'll find the link to that in that live. And then today, yeah, looking at your ideal student. So, none of these things need to take a really, really long time. Just sit down with it and just let your thoughts run and let it, run out onto the page. Because yeah, these are really important to be thinking about for sure. Okay, so police court reports. Okay, owners whose dog has been seized for biting another dog, etc. Owners who want to help their dog to improve behavior. Owners who want a residential course where they stay and work with their dogs. Okay, so they can relax and work with their dog and meet other owners with the same dog issues. Okay, yeah, so there's a few things going on there. There might be some that you can bundle together there, actually. They might not be totally separate. So police court reports, owners whose dog has been seized for biting another dog. Like, is the next one you're thinking is another group, owners who want to help their dogs to improve behavior, or is that a part of the same thing? Owners who want a residential course where they stay and work with their dogs. So they can relax. Yeah, so that is a whole separate thing, like for sure, to the court reports and the dogs being seized. You may have just two groups here, possibly. What if the dog meet other owners with the same dog? Yeah, there may potentially just be two groups there rather than four. So I would look to see if you can kind of that's like what I can see there. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the full details of your business and how it works and the separate things that you've got going on. But from what I can see there, what you've shared, that may just be two separate groups. So think about, yeah, if that is, if that feels good, if that makes sense for your business. So I hope that helps. Because four different like ideal customers and doing the profiling for those, it can be quite a lot. And when we do have lots of different segments, it can be difficult to actually operate our business in terms of like our marketing strategy and our messaging, our positioning, because there's too much pulling in lots of different directions and you're spreading yourself too thin. When we can, where possible, keep things super, super simple and focus on like what is the one thing like the one problem that you want to help solve. So one problem, one solution, one ideal customer. Um, like keep it really simple because then you've got one message that you're putting out there and you can really like double down on that and go all in on that and essentially get better results for that as well. When we try to spread ourselves too thin and there's lots of different things going on, lots of different messages, it can just dilute everything, if that makes sense. And then yeah, we just end up just not getting the results that we want. So I would think about one ideal customer here to focus on first, actually, rather than doing all of the different things. Because actually, what I want you to do is not think, what, like, as we're heading into this boot camp on Monday, I don't want you to be thinking about, oh, like, there's all of these different things that I can create. I could create this thing and I could create this online course and I can create this ebook. And you're thinking too far ahead and looking at this like whole like digital product suite that you could have for your business. Like that's great. It's great to be thinking like that, and we will be brainstorming for sure next week. But I want you to just focus and drill down on one specific thing. Because if you start thinking about all of the different things, you're just going to get overwhelmed and you're never going to start and you're never going to do anything. So yeah, we want to just think about that one ideal customer and that one problem and that one solution and that one passive income offer that you're going to be creating next week. Okay. So we want to keep this simple and not get overwhelmed because, yeah, it's easy to get overwhelmed, right? When we start looking too far ahead. Um, Yeah, thanks. It does. One is law-based and one more owner-based, but they overlap. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it may literally just be, you've got those two different things going on there, two different segments. But yeah, we want to just start with the one. So think about the one where essentially you're like, what's the most popular right now in terms of like what do people come to you for about most like in your business? What is that one service that is driving your business that people are coming to you for? I would start there because people in your audience essentially already know you for that specific thing. And it'll be easier to create from there and to get sales from there as well. So yeah, I would start there always. Okie dokie. So I can't see any questions. If you do have any questions and after this, like anything springs into your mind, do put them into the comments because I am, I'm here. I'm like, yeah, I'm about. So I will answer those when I can. Um, so yeah, do just keep the interaction going, keep the engagement going. So of course as well, there are going to be prizes. I don't think I mentioned this, but I'll mention this like properly next week on Monday. There will be prizes for the most engaged in here. So for those of you that, you get involved, you come along to the lives, you do the homework. So there's going to be some homework threads going on as well. I know I set you some homework for these bonus lives, but these are bonuses, right? Right? They are bonus lives. It's not like a huge part of the boot camp. It's foundations. I'm giving you some extras to help you kind of like yeah, to help you on your way with this. But there will be specific homework threads next week that will come out. So get involved, with the homework, engage, interact with each other as well. If you can help each other, that's fantastic. I love that sense of community. Um, so yeah, there will be prizes at the end for the most engaged. So do like get involved. You'll get the most out of this experience as well by getting involved, by showing up, coming along live. Because often, actually, when we sign up for these things, because there are so many things like this. Like you've probably seen them all over, like Facebook, Instagram, constantly being like advertised to. Like I get it, and often we just don't actually show up. We don't come along to them and we forget about them and like we miss out on what could have been an amazing opportunity for us that takes our business in some direction that is super freaking exciting. Like this is one of those, right? And with these like experiences with these boot camps and stuff, I go all in. Like I don't hold things back. These should be paid experiences, really. Um, but I give them out for free. So yeah, treat it like you paid for it. That's what I want to say. And come along and commit to showing up because yeah, we're gonna have an epic week together next week. So yeah, very exciting. It's going to be super fun. Awesome. Okay, I will leave it there. If you're catching the replay again, so do put some questions into the comments if you do have those about any of this. So we will be back here to kick off officially the boot camp on Monday. So Monday, November the 3rd at 2 p.m. UK time again, so GMT time. I know that there's quite a few people overseas and stuff in here, which is amazing. But just note that time. So it is GMT. We've actually come out of BST now very, very recently. So we're back into GMT time. So just yeah, make sure that you've got that timing right. So it's 2 p.m. UK time. Okay, awesome. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Enjoy your rest of your week and your weekend as well. And we will be back here nice and fresh on Monday. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye. Okay, cool.